Woo-wee! Look at that, YouTube. Oh, man, that is a sexy mother watch your mouth right there. That is the 2017 Cadillac CTS sedan. 3.6 liter. Oh my God, it's a V6. Son of a gun. All right, now look at those wheels. 18 inches of too hot to handle, too cold to hold. All right, let's move around the side of here. Look at all that luxury and elegance right there. But my favorite part has got to be those headlights and that front end. Look at that front end. It just looks like if Batman were to just decide on going to a dealership and getting a car, he would just pick this one. Yeah, because it looks kind of Batmobile-ish. All right, so let's take a look around this thing right here. I like to start around the trunk of the car, man. Look at that dual exhaust right there. They changed it up from the 2016 and 2015 model just a little bit as far as the exhaust layout. But let's go ahead and pop the trunk and see what kind of space we got in here. All right, now I did a little shopping earlier, so I still got my junk in here, but I promised to get it out. But we got a little compartment here. This actually, you know, I'm gonna call this an ice chest right here. I don't know what you're gonna put in yours. You can put in some jumper cables or something. I'm gonna call this a little ice chest. I like that right there. Nice little spot so my bread won't get crushed right there. But man, there's plenty of trunk room in there. Two cases of water right here. You can fit in there. You got your little basket, and right back here we got your battery access. It is in the back. Let me see. Put that back there. Underneath here, there is no spare tire underneath, so you can just pack all your junk in here and ride with it and not have to worry about that. Why is there no tire in there? It's because your tires are actually run flat. So let's close the trunk because there's nothing else in there that we need to see. Come around the driver's side, and this is where I start to get excited. All right, you kind of have a push button here where if you have your key in your pocket, you can actually just push this button right here, and it actually knows that you're close to the car, and you push it, it unlocks the door, and you have access to full-on luxury right here. Look at those controls on the door panel there. Let's get inside. All right, I got my co-pilot in here. Say, what's up, co-pilot? Hey. All right, so he's in here reviewing this thing. Man, it is burning up in here. You know what? While we're in here, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the car on. We got that push to start action right there. So you put your foot on the brake pedal, you push, it starts, and it's ready to go. All right, so we're not going anywhere. You see your Cadillac infotainment system popping up right there. If you'll notice, the seats are automatically cooling just because I have my AC on. I have it set at, let's see, 73, so it knows it's kind of hot outside. And it says, hey man, we need to cool you off. So we're gonna automatically turn those cool seats on. All right, so since we're already here at the infotainment center, let's just start here. Cadillac CUE infotainment. So I'll do a quick run through of this. Some people like it, some people don't. I actually kind of love it. It has all kinds of features. We always have a home button right here, and that takes us to our home screen where you can kind of move apps around like an iPhone or an Android phone, where if you touch and hold it, you can slide them around to whatever screen. You can actually project your screen onto here using a USB cable or possibly a lightning cable if it allows that. And then you can go into your audio settings, your phone settings, and even check the weather. Let's check it out. Let's see what the weather's like out there. All right, so we're looking at, right now it's about 70 degrees and it's actually moving pretty quick. The processor seems to be working really well on this thing. Lots of quick movements on the screen. We can check traffic. I do believe you can check this while you're driving, so that's actually pretty cool. You can manage your routes that way. So let's go back to the radio. All right, so you got your Cadillac CUE infotainment center right here. If you can see that little icon right there, this vehicle is LTE Wi-Fi connected. So that's something cool that you can add on to your OnStar package there. So that way, you know, if you have to stop somewhere in the middle of nowhere and, you know, do some work on your laptop or something, you can actually do it in your car. Now let's take a look around these other buttons. So right here, you have your, I'm gonna call this the lane keeper. This car actually does a better job of backseat driving than my wife does. This button right here actually keeps you in your lane. When you swerve into another lane, let's say you're drifting off because you're falling asleep or texting behind the wheel, which you shouldn't be doing. If this button is illuminated, it actually is going to keep you inside of the lane, so it prevents you from swerving off. And right here we have our automatic start and stop. So basically when you're in traffic or if you're in a light or anything like that, the vehicle actually turns off. It puts it pretty much in a standby mode. And that way when you're sitting in traffic and in stop and go traffic, it actually turns off and conserves, it conserves gasoline that way. You also have the option to turn it off if you wish. All right, you have your glove box control right here, so you don't have to reach way over there. And you can just hit that button right there and it comes down nice and smooth. Let's go ahead and pop that back up in there. And then you have one of the coolest things ever. You have this little lift gate right here. Just by touching it, and you can do wireless charging. If you have an Android and wireless charging enabled device, you can actually slap it right there and it's going to wirelessly charge your phone. And you also have a USB input right there. So let's just tap this for a second, bring it back down, and then you have your onboard controls for your AC, your heated and cooled seats, and everything else you'll need to have access to. Looking down, you have this manual button right here. This is actually going to take you into manual transmission mode. We played around with that a little bit. When you go into manual, you'll actually have to use these pedal shifters right here. I'm really not a fan of the pedal shifters because I'm just an old school type of driver, and I believe all the shifting should be done with your right hand on the floor right here. So that's just a personal preference. I haven't gotten used to it. Maybe I will someday, really not sure. But if you go back a little further, you'll see there's this mode button. And what happens is, let me take you to the dashboard. So what happens is when you hit that mode button, you'll see it pop up. Tour, Sport, and Snow and Ice. I like to drive in Sport mode because I like to move quickly on those streets. But if you want a nice luxury highway ride, you can always skip it up to Tour. Let's put it back in Sport because that's how I roll. Now you may just be wondering where the cup holders are in this thing. Well, you just give this a little shove right here and let luxury take its course. Then you got your cup holders right there with an aluminum bottom on there with a little rubber grip. That is so cool to me. Let's bring that back. Now it wouldn't be called a luxury car if it didn't have a sunroof. So you look up top, you press that button right there, and you let all the sunshine in you feel like getting. Now if you got other passengers with you, of course there's no problem in the front seat. Lots of leg room right there. Let me tell you, this boy is like 6 foot tall and he's got plenty of leg room. But even in the back, you got plenty of room to stretch out back there. You know Cadillac rocks with Bose hardcore. You know they always put a Bose stereo in their cars. Let me tell you, this one, when you're ready to jam out to your journey, don't stop believing, this is the car to do it in. Now let's talk about power in this thing. We got that 3.6 liter V6 motor sitting up under that hood. And let me tell you, I have gotten up on this thing and it will move. It scoots through the freeway like there's no problem at all. It carries the weight and it handles actually like a sports car. The seats are, the seats are luxury car seats, so they don't grab you like a sports car would, but the car handles like a sports car. Especially in sport mode like I've been driving in, when you need to turn those tight corners or maneuver very quickly, the car handles extremely well. It carries its own weight through that concrete jungle. Now let's get outside and take a look up under that hood. Oh yeah, just look at it. Look at it, man. 3.6 liters of what you gonna do about this sitting all up under this hood. Cadillac has got it sealed off pretty good, so don't expect to be working on this thing yourself. There's a lot of technology in that motor. All right, let's take a little drive. I love the way this thing handles, man. And I love the sound the motor makes as you're getting up on it. It actually sounds like it's got some powers. It doesn't have that whiny, tinny sound that a lot of cars have these days, even when they do have 6-cylinder motors. Nice, smooth, quiet ride too. There's a saying that goes, it rides like a Cadillac. Well, we're in a Cadillac and it kind of rides like one. It actually stops pretty quick on the dime too. No problem with braking power. Now I don't know what the 0 to 60 is on this thing, but let me tell you, this car is always in a hurry to get somewhere. When you want it to be in a hurry, it will be. But when you want to take your time and ride nice and smooth, it's going to do that too. Very little road noise. Everything seems to be isolated very well between you and the outside environment. So if you got a heavy foot, watch out, because this thing actually does feel like a conveyor belt when you're driving it. It doesn't feel like you're driving at all. It just kind of floats nice and smooth down the road. You don't even realize you're going that fast. Oh man, I have so much fun driving this thing. Let me tell y'all, I ain't never claimed to be an expert in this stuff. I'm just doing reviews, and in the meantime, driving the hell out of this car. But before I go, I'm gonna need y'all to tap on that like button and smash on that subscribe button, and I'll see y'all at the next one.